Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year personal profit solo consulting business. And the way that these videos work is that they follow the exact same structure every single day. So I start with some questions from the audience. This means that you can ask your question down below this video, and then I'll answer it in tomorrow's video, because then I get to help my ICP, which might be you if you're a solo consultant, coach, agency owner, whatever it is. As long as you sell something online digitally, then I'm happy, and then you're in the right place. So you can ask your question, I'll get back to it, and then we farm engagement, and we hopefully reach more cool people, which is nice. Then I run you through some business stats. This is basically just me showing you every single key number inside of my business, from cost, cash, rev. Then I run you through my to-do list, so basically what I am doing, so what I've done today and what I'll do tomorrow. Then do some life strategy in the end, so basically just like me brainstorming out loud on how the hell I'm gonna get to $1 million a year in profit, while only taking call 3 days a week and operating my business at 85% margins, because that is currently where I'm at, right? I'm at around, we actually just wrapped up the month of May, and I did 50k in contracted, 36k in cash collected, 3k in cost, and then 33k in personal profit, which comes down to these like exactly actually 400k per year in personal profit. So I need to 2.5x the business in the next, I don't actually care how long it takes. It's just a goal that I have. But now I'm doing the strategy first. We gotta get into the comment here and the Q&A. So what we do is that we head over to community here, and then we just scroll down until I haven't liked or engaged with the comment, because then I know this is where we ended the last call. So I'll zoom out a little bit here so you can actually see something. What is going on? There we go. So this is a question from Max. And Max says, thanks for the previous advice, Fred. Of course, bro. You said you would personally switch to IG ads and setter offer for my current content agency. I would love to hear your thoughts on how to switch. Should I ask just current clients? If yes, how? Or should I learn the skill and then offer it to new clients, even though I don't have a specific result for that offer? Very good question, bro. I think obviously in the beginning, when you don't have any experience in a new service, it's pretty frightening to start delivering it, right? Especially to existing clients, you would kind of think it would be the other way around, kind of, in a sense, where it's like they already trust you. So it's like it's an easy upsell, and then you can get to test it. But it's not nice to test something on an existing client that is already paying you, and then it doesn't really work that well, because then you feel like you kind of like ruined the relationship a little bit. At the same time, it's kind of like a paradox, right? Because the only way that you become good at delivering something in this world is by actually doing it. A good analogy to use is that you can read all the books in the world about how to ride a bicycle, but the only way that you learn how to ride a bicycle is by getting on the thing and then just like falling over and then realizing how the hell do you actually ride a bicycle, right? So I think, bro, if I were you, obviously IG ads and setter, right? It's a pretty easy. When I say easy, it's because it is pretty aligned. Like content typically takes care of nurturing, right? So you can argue that content is also traffic if you're good at getting new eyeballs through like either viral or more broad content. But I would say that mostly content is like 70% nurture, 30% traffic. You can advocate that it might be like 5% sales too, right? But adding an appointment setter, this is the element in your business, Max, where you go from delivering followers and nurturing and cool edits and content to actual leads, right? Because you turn the attention into bookings, meetings for your clients. I know that you work with coaches and personal brands. I believe you mentioned in your last question. So to get back to your question, bro, which is the key here, right, is I think, to be honest, bro, appointment setting, don't overthink it too much, because you appointment set for your own business, right? You book meetings with clients for your own offer. So I think don't sweat it too much. I would offer it to a client and then be like, it's pure performance, so you don't have to pay me anything extra, and then test it for that client in just like a 30-day period. Don't say too much or too long of a time, because I promise you, bro, with the right story frameworks and some polls, by DMing the most highly engaging followers, which is story viewers, people answering polls, and people engaging with content, and then reaching out to new followers. If you do those three things, bro, you will book some meetings for your clients, and then they will be really happy about you setting for them. So find one of your clients, the best one, most potential, 30 days for free, not for free, but purely performance, and then feedback and adjust while you do it? How much time does it take you? How well are you performing? Is it hard, purely organic? Should you need some paid ads to like ramp it up and be more predictable? Get that learnings, bro, and then start implementing it. And then do it yourself in the beginning. And then once you've done it for a few clients, bring in a setter. And then you can either bring them in-house and you pay their salary and you plug them into businesses, or you take a setup fee from your clients to give them a trained setter. So it's like, hey, I know this guy, I'll train him, I will manage him, but you will pay him, right? So it's he's not on your payroll. That's how we do it in my agency. So I hope that helps, bro. Also, let me know if you would be up for quickly reviewing and giving feedback to one of my personalized Loom videos or some of my content in a future video. That would be cool, bro. Feel free to link it either way. If you want a good like Loom kind of like structure here, it would be so like some sort of like personalized value, right? Then not one again. Personalized, but this drawing tool, this ass, bro. Personalized value. So basically just like highlight one thing that could be better inside of their business, so you expose them to what's possible, or highlight a problem and pain point that they know that they have. 2, you want to place yourself as the person who can fix this problem. So either use your own case study, which is yourself and your own journey, or a client that is similar to them. And then 3, a clear call to action, and keep the loom below 4 minutes. The biggest mistake people make when they send out looms to prospects is that they make them too long. You have to understand you are a stranger to the person, and there's not a single person on this internet that will spend 15 minutes with a random guy in their DMs. But if it's straight to the point, hyper-personalized, 2 to 3 minutes, and you highlight something of value to them and how they can make more money, save more time, whatever it is, they will listen, I promise you. So good stuff, Max. I appreciate you seeing you here again, bro. I hope that helped. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate all the help on hiring. Of course, bro, it's been such a difficult thing to execute well. Yeah, bro, hiring is without a doubt probably the hardest part of your business, right? Because when you think of it, like most people can hustle their way to 10, 15K. In my case, I'm doing 30 to 40K a month in profit. Just me. I can do that because I have a slightly better resume than most of the other agencies or consultants out there, which comes over time and experience in these things. And there are also people with solo consulting businesses doing 100, 200K a month, right? But you realize that in most business cases, hiring the real, very good talent is what separates you from everyone else. What I realized, for example, in my last coaching business of hiring, right, is that let's say appointment setter, because Max here, the previous question talked about a setter. So let's say appointment setter. You realize that if there is one business over here spending 5K a month on ads, and over here the same coaching businesses, same niche, same offer, same audience, all of these things, they're both spending 5K on ads, right? If this client over here is booking, let's say, easy numbers, this is unrealistic, it's just let's say 50 calls a month, right? Over here, 60 calls a month. You think that it's only a 10 meeting difference, right? But let's say over a year's time with the same spend, it's 120 calls more, which could be a show up rate of like, let's say 80%, that's like 96 calls on calendar, right? A 20% close rate, let's be conservative, that's 20 new clients, and maybe like let's say a 3, 4, 5K offer, that's 100K a year extra, right? But where it becomes exponential is that this coach over here with a very good setter, not only are they getting more calls on calendar, but they're also exponentially able to spend more money on ads. So like let's say that they can spend 10% more every single month, then over time they will like exponentially outgrow over here, because they're getting way more money for it. Like their leads are a lot more money worth than the other coach. You get the point. It outscales, right? So hiring is like insanely important. With how transparent you are with your business, revenue, and profit, are you ever worried about people treating you different based on your success? Are you more selective with who you spend your time with now, and has being a public-facing business owner had any downsides? Man, this is a really good question. Actually, thank you for asking me. I haven't really thought of it. I think people have I don't think people have treated me differently. I don't see myself as a success. Like, I really don't. But I guess if you look at me and compare me to the average Danish 25-year-old that is probably studying or just got their first job after their degree, I am making a bit more money than them, right? Which on paper, having your own business and making some money will probably in the eyes of society make you a little bit more successful in that sense. But I think I know that I'm the same Frederik that I was before starting my business, and that I am now. So when you say it, bro, I think I need to think about it. Actually, I don't think so. Maybe I'm just hoping that it is the way that it is, right? That people don't do it. I think there are definitely some relationships that is not what it has been after me starting my business. I think for many of my friends, I am the example of what they could have been if they really got their shit together and went all in and went in on their business. So it's not to say that the things that I'm doing that those are the only right things, but I'm definitely an example to what they could have done instead of maybe making some other decisions. So I wouldn't say so, bro. But it's also because I'm the same. It's not that I flex. I share my numbers on my Instagram and on this YouTube channel because I believe that when I tell other people that I can help them with my business, the least I can do is share what I do with my own business and what numbers that I do, so that people know what they're buying into if they say I want Frederik as a mentor. So I don't do it as a flex. I could never say, oh, I'm making this amount of money, blah blah blah, because I couldn't care less. I don't value people and how much money they make, whatever. I value them on how they treat other people, and that's also how I value myself, right? How do I treat other people? That's basically just it. That's what my mom told me. So I think that's, yeah. I hope that answers your question, bro. It caught me off guard, not gonna lie. It was a very good question. Also, I'm more selective with who you spend time with now, and has being a public has any downsides? I actually no downsides. I think I have a very good name here in Denmark when it comes to business consulting, courses and these kind of things. I've always been very honest, and my beginner's course here in Denmark that I shut down a year ago had insanely good reviews, and I think we did it in a very good way without like promising too much and flexing the lifestyle. We were very much opposite and telling people how hard it was to start a business. And then I also participated in a television program here in Denmark that aired on the biggest public channel, so to say, and it gave me a lot of positive things because I was just myself in that program, and yeah, that I think nothing too bad yet. I can feel it when I'm out in public sometimes. I don't know if it's like me thinking that people know me or like people look a little bit extra sometimes, but no downside. I'm happy that people know me for something good. Like they respect the things that I've done, and I'm really grateful for that. I appreciate those questions, man. Like normally it's more business, but like these were some good questions. Made me think a little bit, made me stumble upon my words a little bit because it's kind of personal. But it's like very good questions. I hope that I answered them okay. If not, bro, then feel free to ask some more follow-up questions. Then maybe I'm more prepared. Sol is asking, quality as always. I have my VA summarizing every video. How did you find Dubai? I appreciate it, bro. That's actually a very good idea. I might say something absolutely outrageous now, bro, just to test your VA to see if they get it in the summary. Nah, I won't. How did you find Dubai? Good question. So to the people that don't know, I lived in Dubai from summer 2023 to basically beginning of 2025, so 1.5 years. I would say I liked it. There's like definitely some pros and cons. I think the pros of being in Dubai is definitely 0% tax. It is the weather. It is the network opportunities. There's a lot of good people. There's also a lot of bad people. So it's like a good mix, right? But when you make a country in the world with 0% tax and not a ton of business regulation, there's a lot of stuff that is legal there that isn't in Denmark. Like for example in Dubai, it's legal to run a pyramid scheme, right? It's not in Denmark, so there will always be some fishy people. So I think network will be your best and worst friend there. So like just be careful with that. But there are some very good people, and I also met some good friends there. And it's very convenient, right? It's very easy to get food delivered. You have a very seamless day-to-day life with cleaning, etc. Good gyms, good day-to-day life, really. I think for me it was kind of lonely. I lived on my own in a tower where I just sat in there and worked all day. It was very good for business, but I realized now looking back, might not have been the best thing for my happiness, so to say. But I don't regret anything. It was very good for the season of life that I was in. For me, it's a little bit too far away from my family. 6 hours and 15 minutes in a flight is a little bit too far, I would say. I missed some nature, and yeah, after having tried Bali and also Spain, Bali was okay, but I would definitely say Spain, so like southern Europe, is a lot more for me, or Denmark, just like close to home, or like at home actually. But it's a good place, bro. I'd recommend go there for like 2 to 3 weeks, have the same place for like 3 weeks or so, and then make a decision to see if it's something for you. Because it is good. It is a good place, and there's a lot of good people there as well. Okay, nice. We have one more question. How do you track everything in your business, and what do you track? Email, newsletter, organic funnel metrics, paid funnel metrics, business revenue, expenses, etc. Good question, bro. I have various different kinds of trackers. I of course have a P&L for like all numbers overall. Then I have a separate tracking sheet for all paid traffic when I run it. I track every paid number religiously. Then I of course track numbers such as like upfront payments, payment plan collection rate, and lifetime value, just to get an overview of what is a client actually worth for me and how long does it take for me to collect all of the cash from it. In terms of, I track my social growth, which means my followers on the different social media platforms, not because it is important to me that they grow, but it's important for me to see if there's a correlation between the amount of money that I make and how much my channels are growing, so that I know how to balance the two, right? So yeah, I think in my last coaching business, I tracked a lot more because it was a lot more complex. I had 14 full-time employees and there were multiple different business activities. Now it's pretty manual, right? I get maybe 15 to 20 payments a month, and it's all recurring or upfront or like clients. So that's pretty manual. I track that manually in a sheet. I don't really have a high volume there of like many payments. I don't run any paid ads. I track some organic numbers, but I think organic content for me is more like a thesis. It's like, do I think, let's say that because I'm basically my own target audience, right? I want to attract people similar to me in similar positions. So I ask myself, would I enjoy this video? If yes, then I don't care how well it performs. Of course, there's something with the thumbnail and title that I want to optimize so that I get the most of the hours that I spent on it. But it's very much built on thesis, and I'm playing a very long-term game, so I don't really care so much about short-term numbers. So I hope that makes sense, bro. But yeah, I think we went through what I track and how I go about it. So I appreciate that. Good question, man. All right, nice. That is questions for today, and now we'll just run some brand stats. So 126 on the daily updates, and for the main channel we have 6248. So as you can see, business stats inside of this beautiful sheet here. So I'll just zoom in so that you can actually see something. See something. The way that these videos work is that I track one day, so the day prior. So today is the 1st of June, so I track the 31st of May here, So 6248 on my main YouTube channel. For my Instagram is 21014. Lost 5 followers. What a day to be alive. Daily updates grew. I shared it on my Instagram actually just 2 hours ago. So that explains the jump. I slightly mentioned it on like the third story of a storyline of 3 stories. So like subtly mentioned that I'm basically just like tracking all of my business numbers. I'll scroll up so that you can actually see that yesterday I didn't make any money, but I didn't spend any either. So now we basically have all numbers for the month of May. I told you in the beginning, but I'll just let me zoom out a little bit here. If I put it like here, and you can't see the total, but I'll tell you. It's $50,700 US in revenue. And it is 36,422 in cash. Actually, I did have expenses. I had $2,400 US, which is a payment that I made earlier in the month that I forgot to track for a guy who built my Airtable automations. So I need to, I had to remember that for the month of June. I remembered it today when I did the Instagram story. So we had cost this month of 3.3k, which is right on the dot around. We're ending the month at like 91% profit, which I'm happy about. It's almost too high, if you ask me. Like, I should invest more into the business, right? I should keep my profit margins around 80 to 85. But right now, as you know, maybe you don't know because you're new here, I need to assume that you're not. But I see you as my little family here that I tell everything. So I assume that you've been here before, right? Is that I don't really have a lot of spots for my mentorship because I'm building my program, yada yada yada. So that is like basically the business stats. To-do list. I traveled today from 5:30 a.m. in the morning until now, and it's 10:30. I flew from Turkey back home to Denmark. We had 2 flights and then a 4-hour drive. So it's like I'm very tired from a day on the road, which means that I didn't really do any work. I did a little bit of light work in the car, posted some IG stories, did check some things, check some emails, these kind of boring stuff, but nothing too crazy. Now I just want to plan out my week here before I hit the sheets, and then we have a regular week. So tomorrow's update will be a little bit more exciting because we're actually back to work. Last 10 days here have been family vacation, which family and that has been the number one priority. But from tomorrow on, we're back, and I feel very refreshed. I'm really looking forward getting back to work. That's the best part about taking time off, is that you actually looking forward. I think strategy for today, I just want to just recap the month of May. I haven't really thought it like 100% through, so I'll just do it on top. So I think the things that stood out to me was that I did the numbers today, and I realized that in the month of May, I only did 2 sales calls, which was really just onboarding calls. It was people that were so warmed up for my content, that had bought into the philosophy of the coffee shop model so much that they just actually wanted to get started. And that was that meant a lot to me, because I had for the past 3 months I've really tried to play the long-term game and be like, Fred, you will be okay. Your content will take care of the conversion. Just show up every day, share stories, share values, preach the things that you preach, the things that make you, focus on your clients, so get your clients amazing results, and then everything good will come to you. Because I had to tap out from the mindset of my previous coaching business, where it was just push, we were booking 20 to 25 calls a day, right? On a guaranteed offer, money back, all that shit, beginners offer, big sales team, where it was short-term cash, short-term cash, short-term cash. Whereas now I'm really trying to zoom out. So the fact that there was 2 people that was we want to pay this guy 9.5k and we don't really have to talk to you, Fred. You've convinced us, you're a good guy. We love the things that you are doing, and we trust you. That meant a lot to me. So the fact that I was able to collect 36k cash, and then an additional 14k that is in payment plans, so 50k in total deals this month. Really nice, because I did no marketing this month. I didn't put up one single story on my Instagram and mentioning my mentorship and DM me or reply or poll or whatever. I didn't promote it, which is just the thing that I'm trying to say, is that was a very cool experience. But at the same time, also a little bit anxious of am I missing out on momentum? I'm people are interested, but I'm not promoting because I don't have the time to serve them well enough. So am I missing out on some momentum? But I think you'll always have that feeling of being an entrepreneur when you level up in these things of you're never doing enough. So I'm also working with myself on that. Other than that, good month. It was a really good month for my Done For You agency. I'll try to make a separate video about it this week, where I build and strategize a little bit more about the Done For You aspect. If you don't know, then the digital coffee shop is 1 core product, 3 deliverables. This basically means that I'm really good at what I do, and then I have some clients where I have 2 partners that does it for them. We take equity in their businesses. Then I have Done With You, which is my mentorship, where I spend a lot of time with my clients one-on-one, where I'm an external business partner. That's kind of how I see it. And then Do It Yourself, which is the course that I'm releasing 1st of August, which will be also very community focused, and you'll kind of like see the mentorship and the group kind of like force each other together a little bit. And then yeah, I'm still figuring it out 100%. But just to say that I have a done for you agency which had a really good month, and I'll try to break that down a little bit more in another video. So just trying to say that May was a month of figuring stuff out in terms of like the program and everything. It was a month of family vacation, and just like maintaining and sustaining while growing slightly. I think the month before that I can't show you because I'll leak all of my client names to you and what they've paid and these things, but I can tell you what I did in April. April was 31k, so it was like a 10% growth, which is completely fine. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed today. Cool part about this thing is that we'll see each other tomorrow, huh? So tomorrow is a new month, so we can take this thing off and then we'll run it up in June. So yeah, I'm back on the grind. We have this goal, and I'll see each other tomorrow. I'm yapping now.